We're very happy with the new library of Birmingham, so we decided to try and make a model of it. It's our way of saying thank you and making a sort of homage to the new building. It's so amazing. We decided to use old cassettes to build up the bulk of the building, and this fits our usual sort of working method because we love using old stuff, junk, things that are normally thrown away. We also used an old cassette storage box, which all these things have a transparent feel, so they sort of match the building and the sort of modern architecture, the boxy feel to it. So we began building it up and just messed around and didn't try to get it as an accurate size or shape, of course. That's not our usual way. We just sort of guess it and go to the place and look at it day by day and come back and work on it, and that's the way we have fun. So here we are. We started sticking bits together and trying out the pieces and matching them up. We've used a cake, sort of cardboard cake tray that we've cut up because it's got a gold, metallic gold surface, which is really nice and reflective. So we've cut that up with a craft knife and used it, and we're sticking that on. Because the library has a large golden section, as everyone knows. It's very vibrant and fantastic, very futuristic. So of course we've got to replicate that on our model using sort of relevant surfaces and materials. It's great because it's sort of very tactile, and it adds a whole another dimension to this usual sort of activity. It's not boring because we get to use all sorts of materials, so experiment and try different stuff that people perhaps wouldn't normally use for such a project.
Come on, Steve. Come on, you. Come on.
As the thing began to take shape, we had to add bits, change bits, take stuff off.
You do it.
But gradually we got there. We realised kind of late that the way the terraces work on this new building. One terrace goes one way and the other goes the other way. On the third floor there's the garden terrace, which we concentrated on. We hadn't realised the other garden terrace, which is on the 7th floor, opposes it. It goes in the other direction. So we had to change that slightly. One thing we were given was a fantastic transparent box which had some ornamental artificial flowers in, a gift box. So we was given that, and that's perfect. It's sort of very light perspex stuff that we could cut up easily and use for surrounding our model. The grid pattern work that's on there, the sort of circular cog design that's all over the library. The way we did it was to simply use a marker pen, a permanent marker pen, and draw those patterns on, and then was able to use the glue and glue the pieces down bit by bit. So it's a simple solution. Otherwise it would be rather a hard thing to make. We thought about wire netting, chicken wire, stuff like that, but perhaps too tricky. This way suited our needs perfectly. Terraces with the bits and pieces on to represent the gardens. The top's got a couple of domes on it. Just use bits of cardboard for those, bits of sticky tape roll, and match them up so that the one is the gold one in front and the black one behind. With all the pieces getting gradually matched up and sticking on the grid work patterns. We use UHU glue, which is very efficient type of glue. It flows easily and sticks quickly, and yet it's very strong, and it's not as powerful, potent. It gives a horrible smell like super type glue, super glue. As long as you've got a bit of ventilation, it's okay to use. So we always make sure we've got some ventilation, windows open, doors open, that sort of thing. Of course in the summer we can work outside if we want, but it's not always possible. One thing, because we're using a lot of transparent stuff, is we put the glue on and then just sort of smooth over it a bit, because if we just push the transparent plastic down onto the blobs of glue, then it will do that. It will blob and make unwanted sort of messy patterns underneath the transparent plastic. So we just smooth that over and then stick it on, and it ends up with a good result. We're almost there. The pieces are covered with all the different designs that we want to put on it to match the building, and then just we do a bit of a dummy run to make sure everything's how we want it before we finally glue the main pieces together. The terraces, 2 L shapes, and I don't know how many cassette boxes we've used, 20 or something like that. But it's been great to use old technology that people are throwing away these days. Of course, no one's bothered about cassettes anymore. They're not even that much bothered about CDs. So cassettes are way gone. But they're great for us. Make things like this with.
There, and that's the basic shape, isn't it? Make sure it's right. There we are. That's it. Good. There you go, Stephen. Well done. Good work. Good teamwork. Well done.
And so finally we was able to glue the sections together. Some of our things are very quick to make, some of them are very slow. But it's always very satisfying as we come to the final stages. Very satisfying to see it taking shape. Having worked on the bits and pieces. It's a really great, fulfilling thing to do. And it certainly makes you appreciate real buildings. And everything we make, it makes us appreciate the real thing. You have to look at them a bit harder. Think a bit more carefully about what shapes they really are, what they look like. And this building's no exception. It's a fantastic building. Most people agree. I suppose next we better do the interior. So I reckon that'll probably take us about 10 years. So anybody who hasn't visited the new Library of Birmingham yet, we very much recommend they do so, because it is a wonderful place. They call it People's Palace, and that's what it is. It's for everyone, and it's some palace.
Well done, Steve. Great. Good job. Do it again. Yeah. Yes. Sorted.